everyone, how are you doing? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you very much for joining me. The date today is the 31st of July. I am fully aware that we're not quite at the end of the month. Well, this is the end of the month, but ordinarily I would then post a video on the 1st of August. But this is the only time I'm able to do it because my partner is back home tomorrow. At the moment he's working, so I thought I would just take advantage of him not being here. But how is everyone? I've had probably the worst month that I could have financially, emotionally. I don't know if anyone knows. I think if you followed me for a while, you'll know that I've got a cat that is very high maintenance. He was hit by a car about 5 years ago now, and he completely shattered his pelvis. I had him referred up to Fitzpatrick's in Hazelmere in the UK. I am actually living in the UK, and they put him back together again. But on doing so, they also made the canal between his pelvis a lot narrower than usual. So he does have issues with constipation and getting blocked, and last year in September he had to go through an enema because he was really bad in September. He'd gone off his food and gone off water, wasn't eating, drinking, pretty dehydrated. And because I didn't know what the warning signs were, as soon as I found out that he'd gone off his food, I had him taken to the vets and they had him on fluids for 7 days. But he did end up making a full recovery. But this time I noticed a little bit of, I don't know how to say this without being crude, a little bit of anal leakage, which means that obviously there's something going on. There's like a blockage. He hadn't gone off his food at that point and he hadn't gone off his water, but I knew that there was something that wasn't quite right. So I had him referred to the vet straight away. And yes, he had another blockage, but you know, this is a cat that goes through the whole of Gloucestershire's mice population and he eats everything. He's an absolute nightmare. He's a hunter, a proper avid hunter, and he pretty much eats everything he hunts. So that is an ongoing issue. So last week, week before, for a whole entire week he was in and out of hospital to try and get this blockage removed. He ended up having to go under general anaesthetic, which he didn't have to do in September. So it's all just been a bit of a nightmare. So I haven't really done a hell of a lot of stitching. I've probably done less than ordinarily I would want. However, I have got stitching to show you. With regards to haul, don't really have a lot of haul. However, I don't actually have any haul, but I have got some ideas for gifts going forward, thinking about Christmas. Now we're in August, you know, we're 4 months away from Christmas, so we've got to kind of think about gifts and such like. But without further ado, I'm going to start off with the whips, and then I'm going to talk about a new project that I would like to start. But bearing in mind, I've got a hell of a lot going on at the moment. So I don't know the best way to do this. I might end up having pieces in rotation. So you would see every other piece every other month. So I might have like 2 or 3 pieces that I concentrate in one month, and I can come back to you with regards to my whip on that. And then the next month I'll concentrate on some other projects. And then, you know, that month then I would show you the whip and the progression on that. I've got so much going on. I think I've just completely bitten off more than I can chew. I've also got a diamond painting channel on this channel as well, and things are a lot slower. In fact, someone commented about how slow one of my pieces going up was. In my defense, it is a 60 by 90, but also in her defense, she is right. So I just need to try and manage my time better. But it's just so difficult, you know, with work and having a horse and having things go on. You know, I don't have like 16 hours in the day to sit down and stitch. As much as I would love that, I just don't. So what shall I start off with first? I think I'm just going to do it in the order that I've got it here. So the first one I'm going to show you is this is a supersized Bountiful bookshelf. As if having 5 projects wasn't enough, I decided to do this supersized. This is one by Amy Stewart. This is the one I'm doing. I'm doing this on 18 count, 2/1, full cross. This is where you saw it last. And this is where I am at now. Again, like you'll see, there's a slow progression, but you know what, we're getting there slowly. So there's not an awful a lot done on this, but you know, we're getting there. I can't wait to get sort of this area down here done, because I know that one of the books is purple, so that's I think DMC colour 550 comes into play, and I just think it would be nice because it just would it would just shake things up a bit colour wise, because at the moment it's a little bit colourless. It's very dark, very brown, very grey, not really much going on. I do love doing this one, and I am really looking forward to completing the next page. In fact, I think I'm going to have to move my Q snap over, because my Q snap I think is going to have to start coming sort of over here in order to be able to get this area here, which is my next page. But yeah, I love this one. I think I'm definitely going to work on this one as one to concentrate on. I did, how many? I think I only did 214 stitches on that this month. I mean, that's how bad it is. It really has suffered. I did 81 stitches yesterday and 133 stitches on Tuesday. However, having said that, I've got a lot of other things going on in the background. So I'm training my horse to box, so I've got my trainer coming out every so often. This week I had the saddler for my horse as well. I also had training for my horse, so not only going into a box but training with me. That was this week as well. I think she even got a trim. I mean, it's just like everything that happens is just less stitching time. So I haven't done as much on that as I'd like, but I think next month I really want to concentrate on that one and at least get some of the purple in, just to make it pop a bit more. Okay, so that is that one. So the next one I am going to show you is, this is a Josephine wool, and this is Grace Faces. This is absolutely lovely. So this is a quick stitch, even though it doesn't feel like it's going very quick. This is where you saw it before. And this is where we are at now. Just still filling in those gaps. We're not quite there 100% with the 50% at the top. I think on this one, what I'm going to end up doing is just working down the legends. So because I've got some bits and bobs to, well, just a few gaps to fill in, I think I'm just going to go down my legend on Pattern Keeper. So I'll do the first colour, I'll check to see if there's any blanks to fill in. If there isn't, go to the next colour. Are there any blanks to fill in? Yeah, there's a couple of stitches here, so I'll you know, fill in those stitches in the next one, and just kind of use it as a progression, and just pretty much get everything done and finished. All of my holes sort of just plugged in with stitches, really. Because I did this one more cross country, I've ended up with lots of gaps, and the second half I'm definitely not going to do cross country. I'm definitely going to do parking method, purely because I just end up with lots and lots of gaps, and I'm just ending up having to go back over the work all the time, rather than thinking, okay, so that square's finished, you know, onto the next one, that square's finished, onto the next one. And I just find that it's a little bit of a pain, because I find that I'm missing stitches. So I think that is going to be my plan on that one. So this also is done on 18 count 2/1, and I did 1,117 stitches this month. That ended up getting a bit more. I think I said last month I wanted to kind of really concentrate on that one and see if I can get, you know, a lot of it, you know, the top half completed, and you know, I'm getting there. I think, I don't know what I am at stitch wise. Let me have a look on my, this is my living pattern keeper. I absolutely love this. It's amazing. You can see like all the projects I've got, quite a few, but not as many as some people, but you know what, I can't cope with any more. So I'm at 43.2%, so I'm almost halfway, but not quite. There are still quite a few stitches missing on the right hand side, quite a few blanks that need to be filled, but I will concentrate on that a bit more in the month. So that's that one. So that's on 18 count. I think I did like 5 days on that one. How many days did I do? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that got 4 days. 2, 3, 5 days. That got 5 days. So that got more than a lot of, you know, the other stitching projects I've got. Right, the next one is another Amy Stewart. Storykeep, Life is an Open Book. And there is that one. So I am doing this one 25 count 1/1. Here is where you saw it last month. And here is where we are now. I haven't got a huge amount done. Again, this is one that I'm trying to fill in the gaps, so very much like the Grace Faces, I think I'm going to go down the legend and just fill in the blanks as I go. It's coming out nicely. I mean, I've done a bit more down here. I think I'm going to drag this bit down and then just, you know, gradually fill in as I go. But the Eiffel Tower is not quite finished, however it is very much in progression. But you know, the colours are lovely, they're really popping. It's a really, really nice stitching project, but again, this one is really taxing on my eyes, so I find that this cross stitch project is a little bit like, I don't want to say a bind to do, but it literally is. I would much prefer to work on one of my 18 counts than on this 25 count 1/1. I think it's just personal preference. I find it difficult on my eyes, even though I sound like an old woman. I am only 36 years old, and I just think because of that I just don't enjoy it as much. I have to wear my glasses, so there's always something on my face, and I hate things being on my face. So yeah, with that one, it's very much is not 100% enjoyable. I think if I was to do it again, I think I mentioned this last month, I was looking at doing it again in 18 count, purely so you can see the difference between 25 count and 18 count. I think I will much more enjoy the 18 count than the 25. It's just, I guess it's just personal preference. But this one got 1,104 stitches. I feel last month I didn't do as many as I could do, so I tried to get a few more on the Storykeep this month. So that got 1, 2, 3. I think that got 3 days, 4 days. That got 4 days, And again, that, I don't know if I mentioned it, is 25 count 1/1. So that is Life is an Open Book. The next one is one of my favorites, and I love stitching this one as well because it's not so confetti heavy. It is confetti heavy, but you know, you do get breaks from having, you know, larger areas that, you know, are more one color. So the next one is Alternative Reality, and this is another Josephine wool. That is that one. Beautiful. And again, this is being done 18 count 2/1. This is what it looked like last month. And this is what it looks like this month. Sorry, I'm just trying to get my threads in order. I use a parking method, and sometimes they can get a bit all mixed up. Okay, so, oh gosh, this is also a really big frame as well. So there. So I've started coming down into this square here. I tend to do my squares 2 by 2, so I do 80 stitches at a time. 80 by 80, sorry, 40 by 40. So yeah, I find that it's, for me, it's easier to do it that way. And I just find that it's quicker as well. I find that if I do, instead of doing, because I know that some people would do, you know, those 2 squares, then that one, then that one, and then that one, then that, and you know, stagger it 1 square. I think I much prefer to do it 2 because, I don't know, again, it's personal preference, and it doesn't make so much of a mess of the back as well. Not that my back is anything to be proud of, but it's not 100% amazing, but it's not that bad. It's not a complete car crash. So again, I'm doing that 18 count 2/1 full cross. All of my projects will be full cross. That got 1060 stitches, and it's 1, 2, 3. That got 3 days. So that didn't get a lot, but you know, one of the days I did 690 stitches, so you know, that must have been a good day. And actually that was before everything fell apart with my cat. So that was fine. The next one is a Long Dog sampler. This is called Soucis. Let me move up a bit. Quite enjoying this one. Not sure how it's coming out though. I'm not 100% sure I'm happy with how it's coming out. This is being done on 32 counts, Sparkly Snow Laguna, and this is where you saw it last month. And this is it now, making sure that you're in focus and you can see. So I don't know whether it's just me, or try and get a bit closer for you. I'm finding that it looks very liney. I am using variegated thread, and I do understand that when you use variegated thread, it can sometimes look a little bit patchy, but I just think this looks really liney and really patchy, and I don't know. I'm obviously going to finish it, but I'm not 100% sure if I'm really happy with it. I am also not sure if I am going to use 2/2 next time. So I'm doing this on 32 count 2/2. I think I prefer to do that 1/2. So using 1 strand and over 2 holes, I think it might look better. There's this new long dog sampler that's come out on, you know, Cross Stitch Unlimited and all of the other groups, and it's called Pandemic. And the differences between people using 2/2 and 1/2 is like, I don't know, I think that I just prefer the finish of 1/2. Maybe it just doesn't look so crowded. It just looks cleaner, like there's cleaner lines. It doesn't look gappy or bitty, it looks really nice. I have thought about doing that Pandemic in this one. I think I spoke to you about this. Either that colour or that colour. So Viola or Hollyhock. I think that's a really lovely colour. But I think I'm going to get the same issue with these. I think I'm going to get the same problem, that it ends up looking really liney. So I don't know. I'm also tossing the thought of having a variegated thread that is different colour threads. I know that DMC do variegated thread that, like, the colours are different, so there'll be like a green and an orange, you know, or there'll be like a pink and an orange, for instance. So it's not different colour pinks or different colour purples, and where they're getting faded out, I think that's where I'm getting the lines. So this is, I don't know if you're going to even be able to see this. Right, so if I start that end and move, can you see it's getting from dark to light to light to light, and then it goes dark again. Now when I do my lines, because I tend to do it, my cross stitch this way, that is where I'm getting the bittiness, the lines, and I don't know how to stop it coming out like that. Difficult. You know, I'm looking at this project thinking, how would I do that? It's very hard. I don't know. I think I'm just going to have to see how it goes. But you know, also where you've got the lightness as well, the lightness against the white just means that the project doesn't pop. It kind of goes a bit blur, you know, it just fades into the background. So I'm almost at two minds about whether to start this one again, but I don't know. I think I'm just going to continue with it because I'm not a quitter. See how it goes. If it's completely awful, then what I might do is I might decide to change it, and instead of doing variegated thread, I might just decide to change it to, you know, one colour DMC instead. I think that might look nice, and use one strand rather than two. But I'm still on the fence with that one. Still on the fence. Okay, so that is that's my project. I think that's everything. Did I tell you I got 2 days? Yeah, and I did 192 stitches. So it just goes to show I'm just not feeling the love. But I guess, you know, you're not going to feel the love for every single project, are you? It's just one of these things. I don't know. I haven't done a hell of a lot. Put a comment in the comments box whether you think I should just cut and run and do it again, but one colour, 1/2, or whether I should just carry on with it. Because I'm really not liking it, and I think because I'm not liking it, I'm not enjoying working on it, and I'll be working on it thinking, why am I wasting my time working on this when actually I could be working on something like Bountiful Bookshelf, for example, that it needs like 713,000 stitches or something. I'd much rather put my effort and my time into that, bearing in mind it's such a big project, than put my time and my effort into something that I'm not enjoying. And you know what, I've got such little time. I'm just thinking, is there any point? I don't know. I'm really on the fence. I'm not a quitter, and I think that's what's vexing me right now. Okay, so on to something happier. Okay, so my dad's wife, I like making things for her rather than buying stuff for her. Because I just think it's nice. It's got, you know, a bit of a personal touch to it. And this year I am making her, I do crochet as well. I don't really have a channel for that because I just do it. There's nothing I actually make per se that I can really show you. But I decided this year for her I was going to do some facial scrubbies and like facial scrubbies and like a washcloth and maybe like one of those puffs that you can, is that what you call them? That's not what you call them, is it? Those, oh, what are they called? They go in the shower and they're like scrunchy things. There is a word for it. I don't think puff is right, but there is a word for it. But I just thought I'd just put her together like a really nice box. And her favourite colours are, if you think of Santorini in Greece, you know, you've got the deep blue and you've got the turquoise and you've got like the gorgeous, like the bright blue, you know, if you think about the bright blue sea and the deep blue sea and the turquoise, it's just beautiful. So I've decided to do those in, you know, the scrubbies and things in those colours, and then white obviously, because I think you need white to make all the colours pop. So I thought, well, okay, well, as well as that, I think I know she reads books. As far as I know, she reads books. I thought, what a nice idea would it be to make her something like a bookmark, because it's personal. And you know, I've just bought a book, and I could actually, one of my favourite books in the whole world. Okay, I've just ditched my candle. So I've just recently bought this book, Jane Austen. I love Jane Austen. This has got all of her books in. So this is like, I think there's seven of her novels in one book, and it's really lovely. And you know what, I was thinking the other day how handy it would be for me to make myself a bookmark, which is great. And then I thought, well, actually that would be like a really nice second gift for my dad's wife. So I was having a look in my stash to see what I had colour wise, and I've come back with these 3 colours. Don't know if you can see them very well. Can you? Oh, do you know what, the light, so I've got, the light's not very good here. Let's see if I can hold it like that. So this one here is like, it's like almost like an electric blue. You can't really see in the light though. This light doesn't do it any justice. It's more of a so this is 995. It's a really nice 995 colour. And then I've got 3845, which is very kind of like turquoisey, like turquoisey green, but again, it's not coming out in the, it's actually the colour, it's more of the colour of my top actually, pretty much, although it looks really blue in this light. What if I hang on, I might turn this off and see. No, that doesn't it makes no difference whatsoever. It's really bizarre because the light isn't, it's changing the colour. So it's like a turquoisey colour, it's really nice. Turquoisey teal colour. And then I've got like a dark blue. And I just thought that the contrast, these 3 colours, would be really, really nice. And then obviously the white, which would make the colours pop. So this is going to be a new start. It shouldn't take me long to do. I mean, bookmarks generally take me a day. However, with all the other projects going on, it might take me a little bit longer. But you know what? I've got until December to do them anyway. But I just thought I might share my thoughts on the gift that I want to put together for her. The rest of my family, I don't know. I've got 2 brothers, so they don't really appreciate anything crocheted or handmade. I might do something very similar for my mum. My mum's like a purple colour, you know, like a heather purple, dark purple, those sort of colours she likes. So you know what, I might just put something together for her. I know her bathroom is those sort of colours, so like her bathroom's white, and then the accessories she's got in there are, you know, purpley colours, and I thought that might be nice, you know, to do the scrubbies and the face cloth and things like that to go for her for Christmas. I'm just trying to make this Christmas more homemade rather than shop bought. I just think it's more personal. But that is my plan for that. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I don't really have anything else to share. No, I think that's it. So I am going to love you and leave you. If you have any questions about anything, please just drop me a comment in the comments box. I'll always come back to you. But have a lovely rest of the day, and I will see you again next month. Bye.